Everybody has a fond notion of retirement, like it's going to be one big long vacation or it's going to be your hobby day after day. Unfortunately, most of these turn out to be missed. Today we have John Armstrong, the Vice President of Armstrong and Quayle in Waterloo, Ontario, and the President of Retirement 101, to tell us about these myths. Welcome, John.
Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks for having me.
I like this first one, actually number 3, the hobby myth, that hobbies were great stress relievers when you were working, but in retirement they get boring very quickly. So you spend your time preparing clients for retirement, but you're saying basically there's no hurry to get there.
When people start thinking about the retirement and they really look forward to the things they've done and the things they enjoy, and I just can't, I can't wait to, golf every day or follow some hobby that they've always done. But what happens quite often is that it's an empty goal. It's a great stress reliever, and you're looking forward to it because you can only do it so much during your working life. But then when you're retired and you have day after day after day of nothing scheduled and nothing planned, the hobbies can oftentimes lose their appeal pretty quickly.
And particularly if you share it with a spouse who's also got plenty of time on their hands.
Yes.
Now, you attributed this book to the retirement myths to a book by Doug Treen.
That's correct.
Which was aimed at executives. You might want to talk to that a little bit.
Yeah, Doug Treen in his practice as an HR professional ran into this phenomenon of people, especially executives, retiring. And then, after a period of time, 6 months to a year, they wanted back in. They wanted a piece of the action. And he started to formulate this idea in his head that man, this is they've got the money, they've got everything ironed out financially, but psychologically and emotionally, they were not prepared. And he struck out to write this book called Executive Retirement, From Fear to Passion. And, he really hit the mark. It's exactly been my experience in dealing with individuals and helping them and guide them into the retirement transition. Without a real firm plan of action and what you want to do and meaningful activities and getting back in the game in retirement, you're really setting yourself up for some problems.
I think the first one was about stress, that people think that they want to get out of the stress, but the moment the stress is gone, they miss it. Yeah,
that's right. And there are, I think, because of the stress is created oftentimes by outside forces, you feel like, okay, once I leave this job, I won't have the stress of the boss, I won't have the stress of the board of directors, I won't have the stress of this project that's just been driving me crazy. But interestingly enough, that stress becomes a part of you. You really do enjoy it. You enjoy the motivation, the satisfaction for a job well done, and the compliments of people that you get, and certainly at an executive level, the adoration, and man, you just did such a great job. And then when you retire, you no longer have that stress, but it's also the adrenaline rush and the things that you were really admired for is gone. And how do you replace that in retirement? It's a very difficult transition for many people.
So let's talk about Retirement 101. Like, you started in 1987 with your father, Ken Armstrong's, basically mutual fund dealership in Waterloo, Ontario.
That's right.
And you very early specialized in retirement. Why did you focus on that so early?
I think I realized that when I was talking to people about retirement and retirement challenges, it wasn't all about the money. It was, especially when you see people who've gone through the transition a couple of years later or even a year later, it was, what am I doing? How? And this was like mid-90s. This was prior to any of this sort of very recent thinking and writing that's going on. And the people have to be guided through this. They have to be given a transition plan. And a couple of the warning signs were, if I saw somebody just, I got to get out of there, the boss is driving me crazy, I got to get out. That was a really good warning sign because they had nothing that they were going to. And once I was able to get people to think about what are you going to, what are you going to do, and I was able to articulate a retirement risk. So it would have inflation risk and income risk and tax risk maybe, but the other risk that they had was retirement risk. In other words, once you've got the financial figured out and you've got your pension plans organized and there's no more of these other traditional financial risks, there's this thing called retirement risk. And if you aren't prepared for it and understand what it is, you're going to be running into trouble.
Well, we're going to talk about in the next segment your Retirement 101 process and the modeling software, and basically the whole thing about how much money do you need to retire. In the meantime, if people want to go to a website, they can go where?
R101.ca is the name of the website. That's the Retirement 101 webpage, and that's R101.ca.
Excellent. Thank you very much, John Armstrong.
Thank you.